Alright guys, welcome to the video edition of your weekly fantasy update. I'm taking a page from the Fantasy League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. First of all, let me apologize. I know I said I was going to keep up with writing my weekly summary, and I wanted to do it. I had a lot of fun. It was awesome, but I just couldn't do it. I know I broke some promises. Please forgive me if I hurt you. I apologize. Moving on. I'm sorry. Anyway, here we go. So, the playoffs are here. This is what we've been waiting for. They start tonight, Thursday night, so set your lineups. Get it straight. Time is running out. It's going down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain how the playoffs work. I'm going to give a little bit of a season summary, how every team wound up where they are, talk about the matchups, prizes, all the good stuff. So let's get right into it. First I'm going to talk about the bottom half of the league. We got seeds 5, 6, 7, and 8 playing for the Sacco, which is not what you want to play for. So let's talk about the first matchup. We got Team Garcia playing Faith and Roses. Now these are two teams, seeds 5 and 6, that really had a close shot at getting the 4th spot to make the Shiva Bowl, but they just couldn't close. They came pretty close, but they needed some help. Didn't work out. First team we got Team Garcia. Now this is actually a pretty good team. I admire what he did. His strategy was to not tinker. Very admirable. It almost worked out. RG3 came back, but got replaced by Colt McCoy. Super embarrassing. What can you say? Marshawn Lynch carried him here and there, but ultimately got the 6th seed. So, playing Faith and Roses. Now, this is a team that had a chance to make it if they really tried, but this is really the taco of the league. That's just the truth. We got the league's leading rusher in DeMarco Murray. A pretty good team overall, but just couldn't set lineups. Was playing Carson Palmer, who was on the IR for a couple weeks. You deserve to be here. So, that's your first matchup. Your second matchup, Team Rosales playing Who's Your Daddy. Now, Team Rosales actually had a pretty hot start. What killed that team was dropping Arian Foster. Could have been a mistake. It was my blessing, so I'll take it. But towards the end of the season, just couldn't score over like 50 points. It was a sad sight. So, Who's Your Daddy? That was the embarrassment in the beginning of the season. Started 0-5. Actually had a pretty decent winning streak. Scored over 100 points many weeks in a row. But in the end, needed too much help and couldn't close. Didn't make it. So, let me explain how it works. So, each of these, this is called Round 1, Week 1. You play your opponent for 2 weeks, and you add your points together for the 2 weeks, so it's cumulative. And whoever scores the most points over the 2 weeks wins and moves on to the next step. So this is 2 weeks here and 2 weeks here. The winner will move on, and they'll play for 2 more weeks to see who, moves forward. There's also a consolation ladder if you're the loser. Gets a little funky. Whoever is the 8th seed at the end gets the Sacco. Now the prize here, there is none. You've lost your $10 that you put into this league, which you haven't put in, that I need to collect. And I will. I'm going to start taking names and making some phone calls pretty soon. Anyway, boring. Let's move on to the good stuff. The Shiva Bowl. I know I'm ripping off a lot of names here, but haven't created my own. So, moving on. This is where you want to be. The 4 teams that made it here were definitely the 4 best teams throughout the season. Your number 1 overall seed is the Amanda Show. This is the hardest team to stop lately, mainly due to picking up CJ Anderson, a real vulture, after Ronnie Hillman went down. Eddie Lacy started playing really well. The quarterbacks here is probably the biggest question mark in this team. We had a real dud this week from Colin Kaepernick, scored 1 point. A few weeks back, Phillip Rivers scored -3. Need I say more? So, they'll be playing the Little Giants. Little Giants is a team that started hot. If you remember, they had that 5-0, undefeated, unstoppable, record in the beginning. And then they went on a real losing streak. It was like 4 games, almost 5, I think. They were in real jeopardy of not making the playoffs towards the end. But they closed it down. Props to the Little Giants for making the only trade in this league. I sent a lot of trades out, got a lot of rejections, but this one went through, partly thanks to a drunken night at Buffalo's, but I digress. So, Little Giants, the strength of this team has really been the receivers all year. You got Dez Bryant, Jordy Nelson, who you traded away, but you got a real upgrade in Alfred Morris. Tom Brady turned his season around, has been playing great, so don't sleep on the Little Giants. They're a real danger, but can they pull off the upset against the Amanda Show? Only time will tell. The other matchup, Cotton-Headed and Ninny Muggins playing Aggies FSU. You gotta say the favorite here is probably Aggies FSU. Their team is coming off of a over 150 point week. I mean, it's just clicking on all cylinders. Calvin Johnson scored 20-something. DeAndre Hopkins, 38. I don't even know where that came from. But it's a good team right now. The addition of Kobe Fleener, that's really going to give a bump to this team. So, gotta say, a little worried. But, the Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins. The strength of this team all season was the running back core after picking up Arian Foster. Ronnie Hillman went down, but had a pretty good replacement in the trade, losing Alfred Morris but picking up Jordy Nelson. Jimmy Graham came back from injuries, and he's been playing well, except for last week. I don't know what happened. Can't even explain it. Got Peyton Manning. Russell Wilson has not been playing as well, but hopefully he can turn it around. So, the real X factor for the Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins is they have been stowing away Adrian Peterson in hopes that he'll get reinstated. We'll find out pretty soon. If he does get reinstated, you gotta think that that's gonna be a real boost to this team. Arian Foster and Adrian Peterson. It's gonna be hard to beat, but got a couple of great matchups here. So same rules apply. You'll play for 2 weeks. Cumulative total. Yeah, what can I say? Playing for the Shiva. What could be more important? You got actual prizes here. First overall, $60. Second overall, $20. So you still double the money you put in here. As far as I know, that's coming out of my pocket, but not for long. I'm coming for you. So, yeah, I mean, there it is. I'll try to do this next week if I can. I want to. You know what? I will. I'm going to keep my promise. I guarantee it. So, like I said, playoffs start tonight. Have fun. That's what it's all about. And go Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins.